जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम. This is not working. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय
This lighting,
राम. Off, huh?
all these lights.
ನಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆದು ಬೇಡಮ್ಮ.
No, wait.
जय जय राम. Mic is not working today. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai. Mic is not working. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram
Of a spiritual aspirant and how he could scale the heights. But later on, we remember Puja Mataji used to ask us to read 11 times. At that time, none of us knew why she was asking us to read. She wanted us to read 11 times so that we will be able to know something about the impersonal aspect, the nameless, formless aspect of the all-pervading reality, God. She has specifically mentioned this impersonal nature, Nirguna Nirakara Swabhava. And then she also said, after reading 11 times, it is not that you may be able to understand, but you would have started going within. That means inward journey is necessary, contemplative approach is necessary, meditative chanting is necessary. All those things started coming out one by one. And as we were nearing the centenary, suddenly one day the prompting came to go to a particular shloka in Vivek Chudamani. You know, Adi Shankara has written a lot of Prakarana Granthas like Atma Bodh, Tattva Bodh, Bhajagovindam, and this Vivek Chudamani. Apart from writing the commentaries for Upanishads and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in this Vivek Chudamani, there is a particular sloka. We will go through that and then we will try to share if something is to me. Because if we say first, probably it may not become clear or our mind will be with that concept.
Unearthing the treasure within. During the Sanya centenary year
Little more.
a year-long in-depth study was undertaken on Papa's first book, In Quest of God, from 27th December 2021 to this year, 2022. Sadhakas should know that the purpose of the in-depth study of Papa's In Quest of God is to experience the presence of the indwelling and all-pervading reality now. Only by delving deep into the text through regular and persistent efforts to contemplate, reflect, and meditate on the theme contained therein, this can be achieved. Certainly not by merely reading the text at the surface level. Vivek Chudamani reminds us of this salient fact. Why exploring the exceptional journey of self-discovery? A profound shloka, 65, from Vivek Chudamani offered us a unique understanding of this in-depth study of investor cards. Parampujya Adi Shankara's Vivek Chudamani is undoubtedly a masterpiece of Advaita philosophy and perhaps his most famous non-commentarial work that expounds Vedanta in all its glory and grandeur. The slogan reads, Atmoktim Kanhangad Tatopeshida Utkarshanam Srikriti Nikshepa Samshepate Hadivati Shabdaistu Nirgachati Tattvat Brahma Vidobadesha Manana Dhyanadivyakriti Maya Kade Tirohitam Swamara Tattvam Natu Yuktivi. Meaning, as a treasure hidden underground requires for its extraction competent instruction first, then followed by excavation and the removal of stones and other things lying about, and finally grasping, but never comes out by merely being called out by name. Similarly, the transparent truth of the self, the indwelling reality, which is hidden by Maya and its effects, is to be attained through the instruction of the noble Brahman, followed by reflection, meditation, and so forth, but not through perverted arguments. To better understand the purpose of this shloka, we remember Swami Chinmayanandaji used to narrate the story of two families who were living in the same neighborhood. Two families were living in the same neighborhood. They were close to each other, distance-wise as well as emotionally. They used to join in each other's celebration. At both houses, children of one house would often go and play in the other house. In fact, there was no sense of otherness They tried to console the wife and children and assisted them in carrying out the last rites and all the rituals thereafter. On the 13th day, as the rituals got over, the eldest in the grieving family approached the head of the other family. Uncle, we were looking for the savings our father had made over the years, but couldn't find any. We are worried about how we are going to survive from our own words. Uncle replied, oh, don't worry. Your dad has worked hard and made a good savings for your family. But there is a condition. You have to make an effort to get it and not to be satisfied by merely calling the treasure to come out. Go to the room in the right side of the house. There you would find among the 4 tiles one rather loose tile unattached to the floor. Wait till the midnight, preferably early in the morning, and the whole neighborhood is asleep. Gather all necessary tools for excavation. Go to the room, remove the loose tiles, and start digging down. Uncle added, there will be plenty of debris. Don't throw them around. Keep them on a side. Make sure that there is no publicity for this whole exercise. It may take few nights to finish digging. Never get dejected or dispirited. I've failed the words of your father. As you keep digging, one day you will hear the sound of your digging tool hitting on a metal thing. It will be a copper vessel. Don't damage it. Lift it up. Remove the cover at the top. Inside you will find the treasure your father had saved. This will be enough to take care of few generations of you. Believing in his instructions, they went back to their house and did exactly how they were instructed, persevered without faith. They never doubted his words. They were present in following the instructions. Finally, they found the treasure at the end of a long and hard search. This story is a fictionalized version of our spiritual journey. On a deeper reflection of the story, you may find 5 phases there. First is struggle, then quest, followed by faith, and then practice, and finally self-discovery. First is struggle. In this story, the family that loses their head is facing a serious setback in their life. Life is full of ups and downs, pressure and pain, success and failures. Often expectation is one thing, but reality is something else. Nobody's life is a bed of roses from the beginning to the end. A person becomes a seeker when he realizes that nothing is eternal in his life and everything that he was holding dear is ephemeral. Next is quest. When the heartbroken family came to know that they were in deep trouble and utterly helpless, they went to the person who they deeply trusted and whose wisdom they unconditionally believed. When a seeker realizes that he needs guidance on the direction of his spiritual journey by divine providence, a guru, personal or impersonal, arrives to direct him towards the ultimate goal. The question begins when we are humble enough to admit that where we are now is nowhere near where we need to reach. Faith. In this story, the grieving family has full faith in their advisor and faithfully followed his instructions. In life, finding one's guru is only a beginning, not an end in itself. One has to have unconditional unconditional faith in his wisdom and faithfully follow his teachings. He is one remember that what we see as a butterfly is the culmination of a transformative journey of a caterpillar. The smooth pebbles we see at the seashore started their journey as rough-edged rock pieces. Practice. Having received the instructions, the grieving family, without any doubt or trepidation, acts on his words in like earnest. Every aspirant has to keep this in mind. The Guru is a guide to the destination, not the destination in itself. Having found the Guru is not enough. One has to practice his presence unfailingly. Finding a signpost is important, but it is even more important to walk in the direction with faith, conviction, and commitment. Self-discovery. If we decide to follow the Guru's message, we will have to dig deep into our inner resources. As we go deeper, we will find that the divine treasure we are searching is already within us. From the very beginning, we have been searching outside all over, like the basket deer in the Upanishad story, frantically searching for the divine aroma. Every drop in the ocean contains the trace of serenity. Every one of us contains the essence of divinity. In Virat Baba's words, be conscious always that the God that you pray to is within you and everywhere about you. His protection ways are there ever for you. Be always aware that He is guiding you from within.
Now, how do we connect the inter-study to this? The story is clear now. How do we connect them? So for that we need first Aptoktim, Aptavakyam, a reliable guidance, from a person who has scaled the heights. So the highly evolved soul says, God is within. That is the treasure. We don't know. But we believe in His words. Merely believing His words will not take us there. Merely believing His words will not take us to the treasure. We saw that, no? The story. So that means we have to go deep within. So there are about 37 chapters in the book In Quest of God. If we simply read, it is only a narrative. But if we try to go within, yesterday, day for yesterday, and 2 days before, when we went through chapter by chapter, we did not just read it. We read and tried to find out what are the gems that are stored within. So when we started applying, some we were able to lay our hands. So similarly, believing the words of the Master, we try to go within, perseveringly. And he says that should be done in hush-hush manner, not not secret. They said midnight or early morning. Early morning is supposed to be a time when the mind will be highly sattvic, free from, because during the activity our mind is likely to get disturbed because of its ups and downs. But after the 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, suppose when we get up, the mind is fresh. At that time, we try to go within. The digging starts. In our case, our tools are chanting. So with chanting, chanting means meditative chanting. We try to go within. And what is blocking us has to be removed. All our taste, temperament, inclination, aptitude, rights and wrongs, likes and dislikes, preferences, priorities, cravings, infatuations, ambition, self-centeredness, like that, so many things debris are there. So they have to be removed. And we have to ensure that it doesn't create a problem to others. And when we do that, for days together, for weeks together, for months together, probably years together, one day we have been assured by the masters that we will reach the treasure within. This is how Swami Chinmayanandaji told us, during his commentaries on Vivek Chudamani. That is why it is so appealing. So after so many decades we were able to remember. And at the time of, sometime during December 1st or 2nd, this was prompted by Papa. And immediately our friends, they saw to it that it comes out in this form, so that easily understandable. Immediately our Sri Krishnaji's, as we were discussing, his son and daughter-in-law came so they can draw these caricatures. Immediately that was assigned to them and they brought it out beautifully. Later on, so many people put in their efforts to make it a PPT and later on to video. That itself shows, the digging. These are all part of the digging. When once we take the step, God facilitates us to have it in that form. But not by merely telling about In Quest of God, not merely chanting His name, not merely doing bhajan, not merely going through the text, but actually what is expected of us by chanting, what is expected of us by bhajan, what is expected of us by swadhyaya, study of scriptures. That we should do, then only we will be able to have the treasure. This is the meaning, this particular sloka gives. Aptoktim khananam. Khananam means, drilling. So, that is how this whole in-depth study, becomes very, very clear to us. So in our case, the digging is still going on. We should never stop the digging. Unless and until we hear the metallic sound and then clean it and bring it and own it. So we thought, many of you might not have seen it because this was the one which was played on the first day, on the 24th. Is that clear to everybody, or once more you would like to see? With this background? Everybody is keeping quiet, so we take it that you want it. Now with this background again you go through.
Unearthing the treasure within. During the sannyas centenary year of Veera Papa, a year-long in-depth study was undertaken on Papa's first book, In Quest of God, from 27th December 2021 to year 2022. Sadhakas should know that the purpose of the in-depth study of Spirit of our interest of God is to experience the presence of the indwelling and all-pervading reality Ram. Only by getting deep into the text through regular and persistent efforts to contemplate, reflect and meditate on the theme contained therein, this can be achieved. Certainly not by merely reading the text at the surface level. And Vivek Chudamani reminds us of the same fact. Why exploring the exceptional journey of self-discovery? A profound sloga number 65, offered us a unique understanding of this in-depth study of the quest of God. Parampujya Adi Shankara's Vivek Chudamani is undoubtedly a masterpiece of Advaita philosophy and perhaps his most famous non-commentary work that expounds Vedanta in all its glory and grandeur. The sloga reads, Apokim Hananam Tato Perishida Dukkarshanam Srikriti Nikshepa Samkshepate Natibati Shabdaistu Nirgachati Tadvat Brahma Vidopatesha Manana Dhyanadubhyabhyati Maya Karya Tirodhikam Swamamanat Tattvam Natvikuktivi. Meaning, as a treasure hidden underground requires for its extraction competent instruction, first thing. Then, followed by excavation and the removal of stones and other things lying about, and finally grasping, but never comes out by merely being caught up by name. Similarly, the transparent truth of the fact, the indwelling reality, which is hidden by Maya and its effects, is to be attained through the instruction of a noble Brahman, followed by reflection, meditation, and so forth, but not through perverted arguments. To better understand the purport of this sloga, we remember Puja Swami Chimyanandaji used to narrate a story of two families who were living in the same neighborhood. Two families were living in the same neighborhood. They were close to each other, distance-wise as well as emotionally. They used to join in each other's celebration at both houses. Children of one house would often go and play in the other house. In fact, there was no sense of otherness among them. One day, unexpectedly, the head of the family passed away. The members of the other family rushed to help them during their least difficult moments. They tried to console the wife and children and assisted them in carrying out the last rites and all the rituals thereafter. On the 13th day, as the rituals got over, the eldest in the grieving family approached the head of the other family. Uncle, we were looking for the sayings our father had made over the years, but couldn't find any. We are worried about how we are going to survive from our onwards. Uncle replied, Oh, don't worry. Your dad has worked hard and made a good savings for the family. But there is a condition. You have to make an effort to get it and not to be satisfied by merely calling the treasure to come out. Go to the room in the right side of the house. There you would find among the bow ties one rather loose tie unattached to the floor. Make sure that there is no publicity for this whole exercise. It may take few nights to finish eating. Never get dejected or dispirited. Have faith in the words of your father. As you keep digging, one day you will hear the sound of a digging tool hitting on a metal. It will be a copper vessel. Don't damage it. Lift it up. Remove the cover at the top. Inside you will find the treasure your father had saved. This will be enough to take care of few generations of you. Believing in his instructions, they went back to their house and did exactly how they were instructed, persevering without faith. They never doubted his words. They were never complacent in following the instructions. Finally, they found the treasure at the end of a long and hard search. This story is a fictionalized version of our spiritual journey. On a deeper reflection of the story, you may find 5 phases there. First is struggle, then quest, followed by faith, and then practice, and finally self-discovery. First is struggle. In this story, the family that loses their head is facing a serious setback in their life. Life is full of ups and downs, pleasure and pain, success and failures. Often expectation is one thing, but reality is something else. Nobody's life is a bed of roses from the beginning to the end. A person becomes a seeker when he realizes that nothing is eternal in his life and everything that he was holding dear is ephemeral. Next is quest. When the heartbroken family came to know that they were in deep trouble and utterly helpless, they went to the person who they deeply trusted and whose wisdom they unconditionally believed. When a seeker realizes that he needs guidance on the direction of his spiritual journey by divine providence, the Guru, personal or impersonal, arrives to direct him towards the ultimate goal. The quest begins when we are humble enough to admit that where we are now is nowhere near where we need to reach. Faith. In this story, the grieving family has full faith in their advisor and faithfully followed his instructions. In life, finding one Guru is only a beginning, not an end in itself. One has to have unconditional faith in his wisdom and faithfully follow his instructions. It is worth remembering that what we see as a butterfly is the culmination of a transformative journey of a caterpillar. The smooth pebbles we see as a seashore started their journey as rough-edged rock pieces. Practice. Having received the instructions, the grieving family, without any doubt or trepidation, acts on his words in right earnest. Every aspirant has to keep this in mind. The Guru is a guide to the destination, not the destination in itself. Having found the Guru is not enough, one has to practice his presence unfailingly. Finding a signpost is important, but it is even more important to walk in the direction with faith, conviction, and commitment. Self-discovery. If we decide to follow our Guru's message, we will have to dig deep into our inner resources. As we go deeper, we will find that the divine treasure we are searching is already within us. From the very beginning, we have been searching outside all over, like the basket deer in the Upanishad story, frantically searching for the divine aroma. Every drop in the ocean contains a trace of serenity. Every one of us contains a essence of depth. In the Papa word, be conscious always that the God that you pray to is within you and everywhere about you. His protection and grace are there, never for you. Be always aware that He is guiding you from within.
Anybody would like to say anything on this?
Faith.
Yes?
Faith.
Faith, yeah. Faith in the words of the Master is a must, otherwise we will not be able to start. Anything else?
Only hearing is not enough.
Only hearing is not enough. Hearing, reading, that is not enough. Hearing and reading should enable us to experience the power behind reading and hearing, not outside. The power behind the reading and hearing. That is what is called the indwelling reality. So think about this again and again and again. So many things will get unearthed. You will also go to the boards that are there exhibited.
First long journey as a handicap. Peter Rao, as Director of Swami Ramdas was known before embracing sannyas, was struggling in the whirlpool of worldly life until he was lifted up by the indwelling infinite power. He felt that he was called by the divine to leave his cocoon life of severe limits and free himself into the vast open sky of limitless infinity. This was his first long journey as a handicap, traveling from the deep south to the far north, entirely relying on the indwelling reality alone, every day, every step, every breath. The route map of Papa Swami Ramdas' In Quest of God journey. Bangalore. Papa Swami Ramdas' endless struggles his mundane life, resulting in utter helplessness, led his advent into the world as a maniac. He heard the inner voice of God. It was like a flag thrown towards the man, struggling for very life, the stormy waves of the raging sea. On 27th December 1922, at 5 o'clock in the morning, he left Bangalore by train by bidding farewell to the world for which he had lost all attraction and in which he could find nothing to call his own. The body, the mind, the soul, all were laid at the feet of God. A seeker's likes and dislikes, favors and prejudices, thick wall on his path. He should fling himself into the infinite light. Sri Lanka, passing through Eo and Trichy, Papa was guided to the banks of Kaveri, where he renounced all that he was holding dearly, including his name, Vitaka. For him, sannyas was like being lifted by the divine from the narrow path of a worldly life and thrown into the extensive ocean of a universal life. Sannyas is a dedication of our entire being to the Lord and His service. It is a spontaneous wave of aspiration rising from within our own heart. Rameshwaram and Dhaneshwari, throwing himself entirely at the feet of God, Papa traveled wherever he was guided to, with an empty pocket, just too close at the shoes, all his possessions in the world. Hardly did not hold him back. He managed to find something positive in every experience. Where others found prickly thorn, he saw fragrant roses. Optimism leads you Godward, while pessimism pushes you down into the morass of skepticism, despair, and woe. Madurai, as his one and only guide and guardian, led him further, he saw many wonders of art and architecture, but behind every carved stone and beneath every masterpiece, he found the signature of his master. Every towering structure showed him the splendorous glory of the Creator. Be the light of yourself, and in your own ordinary manifest the magnificence and power of your enlightened life. Be highly creative and set free the infinite power that is within you. Chidambaram, his path was often paved with hurdles, but with no grumbling and mumbling, he went on, embracing every situation cheerfully. At unexpected corners, he found the generous providence of God. He did as exactly he was promised to. At the same time, whenever things did not happen as expected, he took even the non-fulfillment as his will and wish. Life must flow spontaneously like the river. Whatever act you do will, in this condition, be utterly divine. Don't have any misgivings or doubts. Push on until the great truth within you reveals itself in all its glory through every part of your being. Tirupavadu, surprises awaited him everywhere. Strangers became friends. Those who misnamed his attire and appearance and called him names later came to realize his worth and became admiring benefactors. In unfriendly encounters, he could never react on impulse. Eventually, they turned out to be benevolent experiences. Do not forget that you live and move in a world which is really a passing show. Do not be attached to it, nor be in any way identified with it. Take the whole world game for what it is worth. Pondicherry. God proposes, God disposes. That is how the old saying meant for Papa Samira. Since he always believed in God in the guide, unfulfilled outcomes did not lead him to despair or disappointment. Like a feather drifting with the breeze, he wandered along without any resistance or reluctance. Human life is rich with the gifts which God has poured into it. For God himself is at the source of all lives in the world. Tiruvannamalai. Papa's travels took him to diverse experiences, from meandering through crowded streets to meditating in a cave for a month, full solitude. He felt God's living presence in every breath. Every creature around the cave reminded him of his providence. His fellowship with nature was so close that even squirrels would come to eat from his land without any fear. Prayer and meditation open up a channel of communication with God so that His grace can fill you and transform your life into His very image. simultaneously with meditation on the great idea is perfectly right. But the remembrance must flow in the mind without a break, like a stream of oil poured from one vessel into another. Kalasthi, what is the whole purpose of this journey? Papa encountered this question. He had no doubt of existence in quest of God. It was clear to him that God is everywhere, but he wanted to experience the same. And he felt this wherever he went and whoever he met. To him, all signs and signals led to one direction, to God. Turn your mind day by day towards the immortal source of your life, God. Let your actions flow like gentle streams, singing the melodious song of divine service. Behold your beloved everywhere. Dasavara, during his travels, Papa was fortunate enough to receive the services of many kind-hearted people who followed the dictates of their conscience. Seeing their services, even in unfavorable situations, with the risk of dire consequences, Papa often wondered, by one touch can change in a moment the entire face of the universe. Let your service be done in a spirit of spontaneous love, which is by itself a great balm and a source of unlimited joy and peace. True service lies in your not being conscious of having done anything for anybody, while you are busily engaged in relieving the pains and sorrows of people around you. Jagannath Puri, reaching the ancient seaside temple frequented by millions of fervent pilgrims, Papa felt a deep emotional attachment. Papa's devotion to the divine knows no bounds, both in his abstract infinite Nirguna aspect and his local, personalized Saguna aspect. Devotion means loving remembrance of God. Bereft of devotion, life is dry and tasteless. Devotion sweetens life and frees it from the bond of ignorance. Kolkata and Dakshineshwar. Crisscrossing the country from down south to far north, Papa was often led to the noble company of saintly souls. These precious Satsangs, often held near sacred shrines, shed radiant light on his spiritual path, revealing the saints was touched by their values and ideals, taking this in humanity. You know, butter comes after churning. Similarly, after struggle comes repose. The darkest night is succeeded by the bright day. So do not despair. Look within for the dawn of divine light and freedom. For this, Satsang is beneficial. Tarakeshwar. Throughout his journey, he would meet people from all walks of life, from those who follow the rules in gentle and spirit, to those who live precariously without much care about rules and conventions. For him, nobody is to be feared or frowned upon, and no need was considered as weird or unbecoming. Spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of the human being. Its emotional, intellectual, and dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. Gaya, Kashi, and Ayodhya. As a traveler without an itinerary, Papa often faced unsympathetic situations, but he was never desperate or frustrated. Instead, he found them as God-given tests to remain calm and unruffled. Their goal being measured and hammered repeatedly to make fine journey. These 5 moments made him a finer being who is in tune with the grand design. Man's eyes are open to the transitory nature of the world through the bitter experiences which he gains in the course of life. Jansi. During his wanderings, Papa would often retreat to a quiet meditative place to be in communion with the divine, like a dewdrop slipping into a shining sea. According to Papa, prayer and meditation are essential to destroy the veil of ignorance that has troubled the soul. In meditation, your mind should think only of God who resides within you and not wander about in the midst of passing scenes of the objective life. The mind going inward through the practice finds the presence of the divine first within and then without everywhere. Himalayas. Papa's Himalayan journey took him to many ancient pilgrim centers, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Kedarnath, and Badrinath. The lofty peaks of mountains, covered with the rolling waves of clouds, and the holy Ganga that flows in all calmness and majesty, awaited him. He walked on, losing himself in the divine splendor. He felt like a baby in his mother's lap, as if enveloped by a sense of serenity. For freedom from attachment, the most efficacious means is that it goes from time to time to solitude. The renunciation that is required of the sadhaka is the renunciation principally of attachments existing in the mind. Mathura, Gokul, and Vrindavan. Papa acknowledged and adored both personal and impersonal mission of God. For him, both these aspects, Saguna and Nirguna, were complementary, not contrary or contradictory. In fact, the impersonal is manifested through the personal aspect. Truth or God is both personal and impersonal. Truth is personal insofar as it works in the movements of individual life and the world nature. But it is also impersonal at the eternal basis or foundation of this pure and spontaneous overflow of life and manifestation. Raipur. Throughout his journey, Papa made no reservations for either transport or boarding. Wherever he reached, he would look around to see a vacant spot, no matter whether it was nauseating or not, where he could rest for a while. Some of these places were rather inhospitable and offered no comfort to his weary body. Still, he had no reservations about his stay or food. Liberation is possible only through the human body. And to waste his life in pursuit of sense pleasures instead of trying to reach God is indeed pitiable. Body is only a vesture, a mask, or a vehicle, impermanent and transitory. Ajmi, like an innocent child who would carry an umbrella to a gathering convened to pray for rain, Papa trusted God unconditionally to take care of him. Even when he was living in a jungle, infested with many venomous creatures, he had no fear. God, he knew you are in the ever-protective hands of God. A man without faith is a vacillating creature, vacillating between sorrow and fear. Whereas he who possesses faith is the real hero who has conquered weakness and stands firm like a rock in all the storms of life. Kanhangad. While traveling in the western India, Papa managed to visit contrasting terrains from high and mighty Girnar hills, about 10,000 steps to climb to the seaside town of Porbandar. But wherever he went, his sense of empathy and compassion towards his fellow beings, including animals, were intact and evident. The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, that the world itself is our Guru or God. Dwarka. Papa had an unwavering clarity and conviction about the path he has chosen. His faith in missionary faith was unshakable. His relation with his friendly fellow travelers was not burdened by any expectation from his part. Surrender is of one kind, total only. It means dedication of your entire life to God. There is no such thing as partial dedication. Highness is not given up partially. Bombay. During his travels, Papa sometimes met people who were through tragic and painful situations in life. They were looking for solace and solution. Listening intently to their tales of travel, he would then guide them to the uplifting and reassuring hands of the divine, offering them a safety net in the uncertain world. If we look at the problem raised as to why people suffer, why accidents happen, why people suddenly die or pass through long periods of agony, from the karmic standpoint, we find that suffering and death come to man according to his past actions. that God's ways are always inscrutable, and He alone knows the why and the wherefore. Papa was always content with what he had and never wanted anything more. Even then, he was repeatedly offered. Feel always that you are in His hands, and therefore always safe. With the weapon of confidence, you can dwell in the midst of temptations and remain unaffected. Propagation. Many times, Papa was saved miraculously in precarious situations. These events reinforced his faith and trust in his Savior and convinced him that He alone exists. What the caterpillar calls the end of the world is, but God calls a butterfly. Be calm and serene in all situations with the thought of God in your mind. Be always brave and cheerful. You are truly under His protection. Padarko and Vijako. A journey is an expansion in many ways. It opens new windows to the hitherto unseen world. For Papa, whatever he came across, nature, buildings, people, animals, everything restored to the glory of God. Seeing it how, Papa was reminded of how God through His creation nourishes us without faith. To Papa, power represents a grand ideal of all that is gentle, pure, self-sacrificing, and innocent. To love all with the true bhakti of God, to serve all with the dear worship of God. Who pays? During his journey, Papa was fortunate to get the darshan of many Mahatmas who inspired him with the exemplary life they led and the universal values they ignited. Society of saints is the most effective means to awaken the heart to the consciousness of God. The aspirant should approach them in all humility with an attitude to receive their enlightening influence. Pandava caves, Kadri, Mangalore. Papa's journey that started from Mangalore came a full circle as he finally reached the Pandava caves near the town. To sum up, it was a journey that began in the background of frustration and utter restlessness, ended in a state of peace and serenity in God abundance. The soul which is imprisoned within the toils of individualism now attains the bliss of perfect freedom.
These are the boats that are exhibited, because these are the areas Papa covered and explained in the book In Quest of God. We are every time when we make an attempt of his visits, his own words come out. The second part that comes in the red, those are his own words. That means he touches and kindles the words of wisdom he has given out from each and every place. It is Mangalore to Mangalore. So, like what we saw in the Vivek Chudamani, any attempt to go inward, he guides us. In the last December, when we started thinking on these terms, intently, he guides us. What is to be shared and what he has already said. Both guidance come to us, and then he prepares the instruments to make it presentable to everybody. So that itself is a proof. So when he says in quest of God, it is meant for us. To him he has already reached. To us we are in quest of God. But we have to ask ourselves, are we really in quest of God? Every now and then we are touched and kindled, but somehow the tempo is not kept alive. It gets punctured unknowingly. So programs like this or products like this, the way of presentation, that again touches on, the like a smoke pipe which we used when we were using the firewood for cooking in our kitchen. Every now and then it is like, whenever we find it is likely to extinguish, we go and take the smoke pipe and make it a flame, make it alive. So similarly, whenever the morale is down, whenever our enthusiasm is slipping, whenever our commitment to go higher and higher is fractured, we should immediately resort to some exercises that will again give a boost to our journey. So these two videos in that direction, it helps us. May all of us be able to derive the maximum benefit out of this. And when we are back to our room or to our own place, let this come back to us often and often. And we pray for His unbounded blessings to finally make us aware of His presence within and without. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Hari Om to everybody. Class we shared yesterday, tomorrow morning we are leaving. First to Sri Shanti Ashram near Rajamundry in Andhra Pradesh. And from there on 26th we go to Hyderabad. And on 29th there will be a Satsang there. And on 3rd it is hoped that we will be back. So until such time, it is not that we are stopping it. We are praying to Him to somehow keep alive, keep a flame of what has been kindled within us. Hari Om to all of you.
When are the satsangs from Monday onwards?
Monday onwards, satsang is there, is asking.
We don't know whether net will come there.
Actually, Manibhai can do the readings once.
You can check out.
Yeah, I'll check it.
If anybody is prepared to
English
come,
is also good.
anybody can comply.
I'll ask him.
Hari Om. We'll try.